Hi, welcome to your first demonstration here in this class. And we're going to start with contour line drawing. And I think that contour line drawing, personally, in my experience with students, is one of the most important tools for learning how to see. And the thing about observational drawing, or just drawing in general, is we tend to draw from what we think of an object as opposed to what we're seeing in that object. And that's because our brains are capable of understanding a lot of different aspects of the objects that we see. For example, we have memories around objects, and we also understand multiple angles of perspective all in one because of our vision. And so it's hard to simplify in some ways and really focus on just translating that imagery into your picture plane, your two-dimensional picture plane, or your drawing pad. Um, so this exercise is a really important one in order to explore seeing and translating what you're seeing into a drawing. So a contour is an edge of something, of an object, and you're not going to be using shading. We're going to be doing, we're starting with blind contour, and our next assignment will be modified, but this week is blind. So let's start here, and this is an example actually of a blind contour drawing. This is a really bad photograph, but it's a great example of showing that you're not trying to draw, you're not trying to make this look like a hand, so to speak, but rather you are trying to make the drawing be an exploration of seeing. So I'm going to zoom in here. Now, before we even get started, one way to set this up is drawing your hand is a great example because the hand, as you can see, has so many details in lines. And so it's a great challenge for this particular assignment. Now, it's very challenging. When I say blind contour, that means not looking at the page referring to your drawing board. Now, I'm doing this digitally. You're going to be doing this in graphite, in a 2B or a harder pencil than that. And you know, or an HB or an H. And the idea again is to focus on drawing what you're seeing. And so the contour, what happens is this process slows down your ability to see what you're drawing, as opposed to just quickly, you know, like a gesture process, which is a very quick process. You're going to be super slow in this process. So I think that, you know, the best approach sometimes is to even cover your drawing pad with another piece of paper over top your hand so that you can't see, or to set up a little shield so you can't actually see. So you're allowing yourself to have that freedom of just looking and drawing. So I'm going to just show you here, and you're not just drawing with a blind contour line drawing. You're not just drawing an outline. You're following all the contours. Oops, I need to make this a little darker so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to make it black. So you are actually just following all the lines in the fingers, whatever you see. And you're not trying to make anything look like a hand. You're simply exploring. You're going to be going at an ant's pace, essentially, in order to explore with this drawing and really have fun with this. It's very meditative and fun to just stop, slow down, and just really focus on translating exactly the edges that you see into the drawing. And it's a very slow, meticulous process. And you're not, again, the goal is not to make, because what happens, and I'm going to pause here, what happens with a lot of students when they start something like this is what I see this is what the students submit. And that is a symbol of a hand. So we don't want that. We want an exploration of all of the contours in your hand. If you look inside your hand, I mean, look at all these contours. And so really not just doing an outline, but rather an exploration. And this is, again, this can be very hard at first in terms of, and I picked up because I'm showing you this demo, but you're not going to be picking up your pencil at all. That's one of the other big parts of this, is that you are going to be keeping your pencil on that paper and keep it moving. It's not about making a perfect drawing. It's about exploring the contours that you see and translating them. And it's about practicing seeing. And drawing is all about seeing, especially if you want to make something look like something. So that's what we're going to be exploring in this class, and this is a great start to it. And again, just take your time with these. Give yourself a quiet space, nice light source so you can see what you're doing. And again, set up a little screen of some sort if need be. And really explore here. Again, I don't want to just see, okay, here's, outline of thumb, idea of thumb. This is, again, this is what I was talking about earlier. We create these symbols of objects in our minds. And, it's important to kind of get away from that as artists, to develop a more nuanced way of seeing and then drawing and translating that into your drawing. So I'm asking you to make 4 blind contour drawings of your hands, so using that process. And you're going to be using your Strathmore drawing pad. You're going to be using an HB or 2B pencil if you happen to have a harder one. H stands for harder and B is softer, so that's just something to keep in mind with pencils. And then post that, and then I will post a critique. So I hope this helps, and let me know if you have any questions about this process. I look forward to seeing your posts.